Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press evening podcast for April 15th, 2025. Firstly, we have an update on the potential UK-US trade deal. After Brexit, the UK is seeking to strengthen its trade ties with other countries, and a deal with the US could be a significant boost to its economy. However, negotiations are ongoing, and there are still challenges to overcome, including tariffs on UK imports. Secondly, we're examining the complexities of diplomatic efforts between the United States and Russia. As tensions rise globally, the US is attempting to strengthen ties with Moscow, but experts warn that this approach may come at a significant cost to relationships with other allies. The moral implications of embracing a leader like Putin are also being considered. Lastly, we're following the developing story of the conflict in Eastern Europe, which has resulted in significant loss of life and displacement of civilians. The international community is urging restraint and diplomacy, with world leaders engaging in emergency meetings and diplomatic efforts to find a resolution. The humanitarian impact is being felt, and aid organizations are scrambling to provide assistance. These stories are all interconnected, reflecting the shifting global landscape and the complex relationships between major world powers. We'll continue to bring you updates and analysis as more information becomes available. That's all for tonight. Thank you for joining us on the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. I'm Walter, and we'll see you again soon. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Firstly, we're following a disturbing trend in Tanzania, where the main opposition party, Chadema, has been banned from participating in upcoming elections. The move has sparked concerns about the government's commitment to democratic principles and human rights, with many questioning the legitimacy of the electoral process. Secondly, we're reporting on the ongoing crisis in Sudan, where a high-stakes conference is underway in London to address the two-year conflict that has left millions displaced, injured, or killed. The international community is calling for a unified response to alleviate the suffering of the Sudanese people and find a lasting solution to the crisis. Lastly, we're looking at a separate story that highlights the challenges faced by individuals standing up for their rights. A prominent opposition leader in Tanzania, Tundu Lissu, has been arrested and charged with treason over a speech he made, which prosecutors claim called on the public to launch a rebellion and disrupt the election. These stories underscore the importance of protecting human rights, promoting democratic principles, and ensuring that those in power are held accountable for their actions. We'll continue to monitor these developments and provide updates as more information becomes available. That's all for tonight's podcast. Thank you for joining us on the AI Daily Press. Until next time, I'm Barbara. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, we looked at significant developments in the holdings of Sarabi Gold plc, involving Greenstone Resources, second LP, and an unnamed party associated with Class Resources. These transactions highlight substantial movements within the company's shareholder structure, which could have implications for its future operations and strategic direction. Secondly, we delved into the world of real estate investment trusts, focusing on announcements from Allied Properties, RE8, and Slate Grocery REIT. Both companies declared their distributions for the month, aiming to provide a steady stream of income for investors. This demonstrates their commitment to delivering consistent returns, which is particularly important in today's volatile market landscape. Lastly, we touched upon news from the Indian markets, where DLF and Godrej Properties are making significant strides. However, I'd like to pivot and discuss a more pressing matter: the recent transactions involving prominent investors, such as Greenstone Resources, the second LP, and their potential impact on the gold mining sector. As we navigate these complex financial waters, it's essential to stay informed and adaptable. Remember, in the world of finance, knowledge is power, and staying vigilant is key to making informed decisions. That's all for this evening's summary. Thank you for joining me on the AI Daily Press. Until next time, good night, and we look forward to bringing you more news and analysis from the world of finance and beyond. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, we've been exploring the possibility of microbial life on Titan, one of Saturn's moons. Researchers have found that despite the presence of organic molecules, the subsurface ocean on Titan might only be able to support a tiny population of microbes, weighing no more than a few pounds. This discovery highlights the complexity and nuance of the search for life beyond Earth. Secondly, we delved into the fascinating world of NASA spin-offs, where technologies developed for space research have found practical applications here on Earth. From solar cells to memory foam, water purification systems, and safety features in modern aircraft, these innovations have improved our daily lives and saved countless lives. Lastly, we announced an exciting opportunity for social media enthusiasts to attend a behind-the-scenes event at the Kennedy Space Center, where they'll witness the launch of a commercial crew mission and meet with NASA scientists and engineers. We remind attendees to be flexible with their travel arrangements, as launch dates are subject to change. That's all for tonight's summary. Thank you for joining us on this journey through space exploration and innovation. Until next time, keep looking up at those stars and remember, the universe is full of mysteries waiting to be solved. This is Carl, signing off. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. First, we'll dive into the latest developments in Major League Baseball, where Philadelphia Phillies star player Bryce Harper had a tough outing against the Giants, but we're confident he'll bounce back. We'll also discuss the historic moment when a #1 pitcher and catcher formed a battery in a game for the first time in MLB history. Next, we'll head to the University of Georgia's football program, where talented newcomers are making waves. But it's not just the fresh faces that are grabbing attention. We'll take a closer look at the intriguing dynamics unfolding in Athens, including the competition for the starting cornerback spot and the impressive performances from returning players like Sokovy, White, and London Humphreys. Lastly, we'll touch on some other notable performances in baseball, including Willie Adams' first home run in a San Francisco uniform and Fernando Tatis Jr.'s 2-home-run game against the Cubs. That's all for now. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curel.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, we looked at the upcoming solo tour of the legendary Stevie Nicks, which promises to be a mesmerizing journey through her extensive discography. With newly announced dates across the United States and Canada, fans will have the opportunity to experience Stevie's magic in intimate settings. We also explored the story of Ice Cube's Truth to Power tour, which is using music as a force for good to raise awareness about breast cancer research and support. This powerful initiative is a testament to the impact that music can have on people's lives, bringing joy, comfort, and solace to those affected by this devastating disease. Lastly, we touched on the importance of community and social impact, highlighting the ways in which individuals and organizations are making a difference in their own unique ways. From breast cancer survivors and advocates to musicians using their platforms for good, these stories remind us that we all have the power to create positive change in the world. That's all for tonight's podcast. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and we'll see you again soon. Until next time, good night, and may the music be with you. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. I'm your host, Joan. We've got a fantastic show for you tonight, with updates on all the latest news and trends. First up, we're talking fashion, specifically Justin Bieber's new venture into the world of style. The pop star's announced that he's leaving his role as the face of Drew House, and we can't help but wonder what this means for the brand. Will they be able to find a new celebrity endorsement, or will they struggle to keep up without Bieber's star power? We'll be keeping an eye on this story. So now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenitcher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, We reported on the conservation efforts to save the critically endangered species, including the successful breeding program of a rare bird species in a protected sanctuary. Additionally, we highlighted the plight of langurs, a group of monkeys found in Africa and Asia, whose populations are threatened by habitat loss and hunting. Experts have launched International Colobane Monkey Day to raise awareness about the importance of protecting these ecologically significant creatures. Secondly, we covered the story of Ras Baghdadi Beach in Egypt's Wadi El Gamal National Park, which is under threat from tourism development plans. Environmentalists and local communities are warning that even light construction on the beach would destroy one of Egypt's last untouched marine sanctuaries, home to coral reefs, sea turtles, and mangrove trees. Lastly, we touched on the conservation success story of a species of turtle, whose numbers have increased significantly thanks to concerted conservation efforts. However, we also highlighted the ongoing struggle to protect many other species, including the langurs and the fragile ecosystem of Ras Baghdadi Beach. These stories underscore the importance of balancing economic development with environmental protection and the need for sustained conservation efforts to preserve our planet's precious biodiversity. We'll continue to follow these stories and bring you updates on the AI Daily Press. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we look forward to sharing more critical environmental news with you in the future. Good night. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David at Nature for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.